for joining me today. I'm tannamarshall, women's empowerment coach and founder of Infinite Woman. And this is my first interview since 2019. I took a little COVID break. So after almost 3 years, I'm excited to be joined today by my first guest of the year and my friend, Tif Loeffler. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Tif Loeffler is a positive intelligence coach for women business owners who have families and want to take back their time, supporting her clients as they stop scarcity thinking in its tracks. Tif helps women discover how being mentally fit is the key to creating a business that supports who they are and who they care for. She offers positive intelligence courses and other amazing tools to upgrade skills and transform lives. Tif is energetic, empathic, personable, brimming with ideas and possibilities, and a cheerleader celebrating every step. She embodies taking imperfect, inspired action, knowing that done is perfect. She provides a supportive environment to help you realize success is yours. She loves to say, the power to change is at your fingertips. Are you ready? Say yes. Yay. Welcome, Tif.
Oh, Tana, first of all, I am so honored to be here with you. I love you. You're the bestest, and this is going to be fun. So thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad to have you here. I just love you so much. So tell us how you first became interested in being a coach.
I was first inspired by my friend, Terry. She's one of my besties, and she saw I was struggling in my job. And she said, you know what? You need a coach, and I know a coach. So you meet with that coach. And, it's amazing when you have that power of referral and authority. And because I trust her, and I thought, okay, I'll meet with this coach, and coach was great. And this was years ago, and I didn't really understand the power of someone holding space until I was unceremoniously dumped from my job of 13 years the week before Thanksgiving. And this is back in 2017, and I was devastated, and I can clearly, without eyes closed, see myself crying in the parking lot of Macy's. That was my second job. Thank God I had a second job. And she was on the phone with me for an hour. Wow, it's just something I can never forget when you have someone who can hold space for you in a really sad time. And yet after that call, I just felt so much better. Like I thought, wow, it actually could be okay. Because there were just those gentle reminders. Not the least of which was that job was so not for me, and there had been so many signs that it would probably be a good idea to leave that I didn't take. And then all of a sudden, my guardian angel said, well, she's just going to have to get fired. Just because they just said, you know what, this isn't working for us. And it could be devastating. And the reason I just make such a deal out of that is because it's so interesting how the brain will remember certain thoughts. And now as a positive intelligence coach, I get that. So fast forward a few years, and I just thought, I just don't know if I want to do this 9 to 5 working for someone else, but what am I going to do? And I was looking, and then I took a course on coaching, and I don't know why it was only like midway through that I just realized, oh my gosh, that coach meant so much to me. And look, I'm learning this, and I want to do this. So that's how I first came up to discovering the world of coaching, which I think is just one of the most beautiful ways to have a vocation ever.
Absolutely. And, a lot of people have been in your situation where they got the universal boot. I got that too. It's like, boop, you're ready for something else. So I'm glad that you had someone to help you through that transition. So tell me, what is a positive intelligence coach?
One of the things I like to say is that our mind, it can either be our best friend or our worst enemy. And I don't know why that sentence is, but it just has always hit me just so in a beautiful way, just like, whoa. Because in positive intelligence, I have learned that, wow, surprisingly, I get to choose my own thoughts. And to say that seems ludicrous. It just seems like, of course you choose your own thoughts. Well, if a person was to really take a day and look at throughout the day and say, how many of those thoughts did I decide those were my thoughts, and how many just flew into my head and I went, okay. And how many of them are thoughts that are negative, that are, however well-meaning, are just destructive, and you just say, okay, oh, that didn't work out. It's your fault. Or you can't do this. You're not enough. You don't matter. They're never going to buy it. They're never going to like you. You'll never be accepted. I'm just splattering out just a few, but being up in the world of positive intelligence, it's just a beautiful daily practice of learning to retrain your brain and just take self-command. And it just seems so, well, of course, wouldn't everybody do that? And it's easy to do, then it's easy not to do. But guess what? It's also easy to do again. You just keep practicing. And I love it. And so that's why I'm just so grateful to be a positive intelligence coach.
Yeah. So that sounds like kind of the basics for any road to success is shifting your mindset. So I love that. And you work specifically with women, mompreneurs, women business owners. So how did you come to work with that clientele?
Because because of my mom. Because when I have two brothers, and when we were very small, mom stayed home and took care of us. And even back then, I've always appreciated it. And back then I appreciated it. I thought, oh, this is cool. I come home, mom's home all the time. And then when my youngest brother went to school, and we're all in school full time now, then she went and started working with my dad in his business. And I thought, oh my God, that is so cool. Like, my mom's a businesswoman. And she took a course on accounting, and she is so mega brilliant with numbers. She remembers everybody's, she's just a numbers queen. It's so cool. And I've always admired that. And I just thought, wow, she's a businesswoman doing the business thing. And I told her I was going to be a coach. And then she said, all right, then you go do it for those of us who didn't. And it took me a moment. I thought, what? And then it's like, oh, I mean, of course, I know she loves my dad and he loves her, and they've worked together and it's worked well. It's just not, is that what she wanted to do? Like, was that her calling, or is that what she felt probably needed to be done for the family? And I just think there's so many different levels of sacrifices that moms make. And I celebrate that. And I don't happen to be a mom. I'm not blessed with children of my own, but I have so many cousins. I have a huge family and love all these moms. And I am so inspired to make sure that as best I can to help the moms out there who they want to create something for themselves. They want to create that business, and it's something that's theirs. And to support them through that, because, well, because it sounds kind of like a swear word, but I call it shilt. It's a combination of shame and guilt. Like, it's that mom guilt. I'm not doing enough, and I'm not enough. It's like, from my perspective, oh, you're everything. What are you talking about? And as much as I can bring that to them and support them as they create for themselves, so that, when you're at work, in your business. And when you're with your family, you're with your family. And wherever you're at, you're just enjoying the journey, and you're in the present moment, and you're just loving life. And I know it's there because it's there all the time. We just, again, it's that choosing your thoughts on it. And so that's how I've always felt that way about helping moms. I just can't not. And I do say women with families because I do have a family. It's just the way it looks for me. And I really appreciate so much my mom and all that she's taught me. And that was a really incredible aha and lesson to learn, and perspective and gratitude from my mom.
That's so inspiring. I'm sure your mom is so happy to know that she is that for you. That's so sweet. I love that. You're so lucky. So both your parents here, they're still together. That's awesome. No wonder you're so awesome. So tell me, what do women usually come to you looking for? Like, are they already in a business? Do they want to start a business? Is it a combination of both?
It's a combination of both. And I am so amazed. I'm just amazed, okay? Because what coaching, there's so many components to it, but it just really comes down to, why do people jump on a call with me? And why do I jump on a call with people? It's just to have a moment together. It's just to be in a moment with someone. And to be a coach and to hold space, and to give someone the freedom to say, look, whatever is on your mind, and let it flow from there. And what I appreciate about the women who I get to work with and support and help is that it's so nice to be able to say to someone, you know, what you want matters, what you are desiring, and who you want to become and who you are right now matters. You're awesome right now. Like my favorite thing to tell people is these women in business, I don't care if they're just starting or how much experience, that there are people out there right now who need you as you are right now. This isn't about, because I just can get so when there's that thought like, oh, I have to take all of these courses and I love learning, or I have to. One of the lies that our minds tell us, and I will call it a lie, sometimes it's hard sometimes to say the bold things, like a lie our mind tells us is, when this, then I'll be happy, and just fill in the blank. Mm-hmm. When I go to school, when I get the course, when I graduate, when I go to grad school, when I get that job, when I get that promotion, when I get married, when I have a kid, when I have 2 kids, when they're off in school, when they're all graduated, when I retire, when, and mm-hmm. and then there's so much in between that gets missed out because time slips away. And I see that so often. And the time that slips away is filled with worry and regret. And also there's good things. I mean, I just so love that I can be there for someone and let them know that, yes, they matter right now. What they've got is awesome. And just go for it. It just seems like, but to be able to support someone and let them know that their dreams matter, it's like everything, and it's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. You speak with such passion about it, and I love that about you. Can you share with us something, like give us an example of something that you would share? Is there like a tip, a tool, a process that comes up a lot with women when they say, look, I want to do this. I feel like I can't do this, or I feel like I'm not enough. You've mentioned that several times. If they say, I feel like I'm not enough, whether it's in their family, with their business, or in their business, can you share one little thing that you do to help the clients?
And I show this all the time because it's still my absolute favorite. And I love to share it today. Let's say, and yes, we can just say that, like someone just says to me, I'm not enough. We got that thought. Let's just give it a pause. Now let's do what they call a PQ rep in positive intelligence. This is my favorite one. It's a tactile one. And I have a couple variations. And all a person needs to do is just say to that thought, you know what, hold on. And you just lightly take your thumb, and you can take your index finger, your middle finger, depending on how you're feeling, or maybe even your pinky. But we'll use the index for now. And we will just lightly rub it together and close our eyes if we can. Unless you're driving, then please keep them open. But just be curious. And the best part is, this is not about trying to come up with a new thought. We're just being curious. The physical sensation of our unique fingerprints lightly touching each other. That's it. And I love this because this is one, training our brain to say, I'm not just going to go the same route all the time. I'm going to try this new way of thinking. And 2, which I just recently discovered, it is another way for us to be in our bodies. I do love that we have amazing minds. It's just so interesting that our minds a lot of times keep us from feeling the feelings that we need to feel in our bodies, and just let it go. Like, just have a moment. So there's this little PQ rep you do. And sometimes that's enough. Sometimes, like, oh my gosh, why was I even thinking that? Of course I'm enough. But let's say maybe you just need another moment. And then I say, all right, let's just take our fingers and lightly rub them up and down against our palm. And all we're doing is being curious. It's not anything that I need to think about or analyze. I'm simply, wow, perhaps my hand is a bit rough today, or maybe I just put lotion on it, softer. Maybe it's a little cold because I just grabbed a glass, or maybe it's warm. And sometimes that's a little too much for people, and I understand, and I got you. And you can even use one of the greatest distractors in the universe, our cell phones, and you can just lightly touch your cell phone, and all you're doing is being curious, saying, it's kind of cool right now, and oh, it's oh, I'm looking at the color, that's interesting, and just be very curious about it for just a moment. And again, all you're doing is taking that thought that could have got down the path of negativity, and instead, I get to choose a different thought. And I just love that because it's just so important. For example, let's say that somebody said something that hurt your feelings, and just to say, all right, you know what? There could be a lot of thoughts, and maybe you want to get mad, and you can still feel your feelings, but it's just okay to take a moment, maybe just do this for just a moment, and just take a breath and just feel what's going on, and just let that be for just a moment. And by doing that, wow, could that maybe be a better way to handle your feelings than to try to distract yourself or stuff it down or ignore it, pretend it's not there? Make yourself feel bad because you were even thinking an angry thought, even though someone hurt your feelings, and it's okay for us to feel our feelings. And yet, is it? And we think that in our mind, and then we just try to do anything to not feel and to not be in our bodies. And I just love that with just the simple little action. It lowers my shoulders, makes me breathe easier, feel my heart rate is better. And it's just amazing how a simple little tool like that can just make a difference. You can do it anytime.
I was doing it with you. That is really powerful, and it is really simple. I'm going to do that. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you for sharing that. So then that sounds like a really great first step to work that would be incredibly powerful. So let me ask you, do you have a favorite client success story?
I do have a recent story of someone that I just met, and I'd love to share because I feel like it's a success, and I don't even know if I will ever have the chance to talk to this person again, but it was someone who we started the conversation. I am part of an awesome networking group, and I wanted to share this with people, and they said, hey, great, can you be our person that says hello to new people and see if they want to join? I'm like, sure. And I just hopped on a call with someone, and I love it because, I'm here to support. All right, how can I support this person? And I said, hey, would you like to join this? And she said, well, I really do want to help people, but this is all in Messenger that I just don't. I'm still trying to gather information. And immediately I admit in my mind, I'm like, oh, I think I'm hearing a when this happens, then I'll be happy type thing. I thought, okay. And I said, hey, I swear to you, I just want to hop on a call and love on you. And she said yes. And we hopped on a call. And it's amazing. In one breath, someone's saying, I just don't have any skills. I mean, I have a psychology degree. And I just said right away, I said, well, I said, if I may, please. I said, you have a psychology degree. That's really cool. And she went like, oh, is it? Yeah, that's really cool. And she said, well, I really want to help executive women. And I was sharing with a couple of people in a group, and they put her down. And I got to tell you, thanks for letting me also say to people, look, there's plenty for everybody. There truly is. And we must be here to support each other. And when someone says that they want to reach out to successful executive women business owners, I think maybe the last thing a person should do is put someone down and say, oh, you don't want to help the rest of the women? And comments like that. And I thought, I can understand. And yet that really hurt her feelings. And she felt deflated. And she thought, why am I going to even bother then? And so I said, I understand. And tell me more. Because she wasn't sure that she had the information of really how she could talk to these women and let them know that she was there for them. Well, I'm here to tell you, everybody, when she started talking, oh my God, I had tears in my eyes. And I told her, I said, wow, when you share that, those women, they're going to have tears in their eyes because they're going to realize that you get them. And it was so beautiful because, wait a minute, just because someone's reached a certain level of success, oh, they have no problems, that there's nothing in their life that maybe they wouldn't like some support with. And thanks for letting me also interject as I conclude that story. Tana, I don't know about you, but I just feel that you could never have too much support.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's correct. Have many sources of support.
yeah. And the best part was I remembered to record the conversation and I sent it to her and I said, I want you to listen to this and just know that you've got what it takes. Look at this psychology degree. You have such a knowledge of what these women are experiencing. I mean, I don't know what more research she thought she needed to do. And just the fact that I guess the part is I just am so grateful that I could be a part of someone's journey as you've been for me, Tana. I just love when we first connected, it's like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. And just I love your posts on Instagram. I think you're fabulous. And just to that you are an important part of my journey. And I just thank you for being that light, shining that for me so that and again, I'm like, oh, tearing up and I just want to start crying because, oh, there are so many people in the darkness right now and they're feeling so alone. And Tana, you take your light and you shine it. Like, I just love having a pen that has a light. I mean, you are just like, here I am. And people are like, oh, there she is. And that's what my desire is, to make sure that I am shining my brightest light for people so that I can support them, so that they can feel brighter.
Well, thank you for saying that. And I feel the same way about you. The feeling is totally mutual. And you do shine your light, and you have a beautiful light. And that actually leads me to my next question. You just created a perfect transition there. So I wanted to ask you, on another note, pun intended, what inspired you to start your weekly Monday music moment on Instagram? And everybody, you got to go check out her. First of all, just go follow her on Instagram because there's always something uplifting and fun. But every Monday, I look forward to it every week. There's the Monday music moment, and she has a theme for the month usually. And I love it. So what inspired you to start that?
I do like to sing, and I was trying to think of something to do on Instagram. And I just thought, all right, what can I do? I can kind of carry a tune, and I don't have to sing the whole thing. And there's so many songs I find their lyrics are inspiring. And then I could tie it into coaching. And so that's just kind of how it started, is I just thought, well, I'll just try this. And the thing that, and I really appreciate that. And everybody, I'm going to say, Tana is my #1 fan for that. And I love it. And it is so much fun because it just makes me feel good. And I just thought, well, maybe I can just show people that I'm doing something that makes me feel good. And I'm just being me. And I'm not a professional singer.
I love that. You know what? I think that is a great example of just putting yourself out there and going, I love this. This makes me happy. And I'm doing it because I want to spread love and joy and upliftment. I want to empower you. And even if it's not perfect, I'm still doing it anyway. I think it's such a great example of putting yourself out there, because you've mentioned several times people have that I'm not good enough thing, especially women. And here you are putting yourself out there every week, singing songs. Sometimes you're dealing with weather. Sometimes you're not feeling great. I mean, you're always there doing it. I always end up walking away singing the song. And this month is being Barry Manilow, one of my favorites.
I know, right?
But I love the themes that you have. I loved October. It was all magic. That was so fun.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, so it's very inspiring. And you're singing for the joy of it and just saying, hey, if I can put myself out here this way, you can too. And in the meantime, here's an inspiring, uplifting message. So I just want to thank you for Monday Music Moment, because I love it so much.
Thank you. I do too. That's what I want to bring to people. Just find some things that just make you go, oh.
I love that. I do that. For you. So is there a favorite song that you've sung so far that was like, oh, this was my favorite? Or do you have a favorite song that you haven't shared yet?
I want to have a month dedicated to the songs that make Tif cry, because there are so many songs that and there's been a couple Barry Manilow too. Daybreak is one of my all-time favorites. John Denver, Sweet Surrender. I love that one. There are just so many. And of course, now if I were to start with female artists like Tina Turner, Simply the Best. Tina drop, because I love when we have talked before about Tina, because I love your story. It's awesome.
There's
And
my interview with her on Instagram. You can go watch it there.
I love that a combination of music and lyric can bring someone to a place of instant tears. And it's beautiful because it is a way of bringing you into your body, and just like, because you feel it. You're not feeling it from out here. When that song plays, you feel it from it's emanating from you, and it just happens to pop out your eyes in the waterworks once in a while. So
thank you for sharing all of that about that. But tell me, I feel like you kind of already answered this, but I want to ask you again. So what do you love most about what you do?
When I'm with people, they say, "Oh, I just love your energy." I feel so grateful that that's something that I can share. And also I love to share ideas. And I used to think that there was only so many ideas in my head, and if I shared them, they would be gone and I wouldn't have any more. And I've since realized that ideas aren't coming from us, they're coming from all over, and they're in plentiful supply. It's just fun to have that combination of listening and letting them discover something. But then also, if they are asking me, that I have something I feel that could add value to them, because I just want everybody to be out there shining their light, all their energy.
Well, you're a great example. Yeah, there's a steady stream of ideas and inspiration. And sometimes somebody needs someone else to translate that for them because they can't hear it themselves. So I'm sure you're a great conduit for inspiration coming to other people. But you shine your light so brightly, and you are such a shining star, and you do have the best energy. And I just love and adore you. I'm so glad that we got connected, because you're such a blessing to know. And I love and adore you so much. So tell me, where can people find you and learn more about your services?
I do love, as you know, to sing on Instagram. So I'll be sending my Instagram handle. Contact me on Facebook. Contact me on LinkedIn.
But yeah, we'll have all the information in the description below. And also, you can book a free call to talk with Tif to see if she can support you or how she can support you. Oh my goodness, this has been so much fun, Tif. I want to thank you so much for joining me for my re-entry into interviews. It's been so great having you here. Thank you so much.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much. It's just been tremendous. I love your energy. I love being with you. I think you're amazing. And I love that you let your light shine. And it's this most gorgeous pink, by the way, which is so awesome.
Thank you. You're so sweet, Tif. Thank you. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'll be back with more inspiring interviews, finally, with more amazing women. So remember to subscribe here on YouTube, or you can join the mailing list on my website and be notified every Friday and get inspiring messages and get 2 free gifts. You can go to tannamarshall.com if you want to sign up for that. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time.